Welcome back to my channel, everybody. This is going to be a book haul that I've been holding on to these books for a couple of months now. And there's a lot of them that I won't read the inside or the back because they're the second in a series. But there's a lot of them that I will. So let's just get started. I have We Who Will Die by Stasia Stark. This is my Book of the Month edition. Pretty sprayed edges. There's a map on the inside. And it says, life in the Perilous Thorn District is a constant battle for Arvel and her younger brothers. And the vampire standing on her doorstep is about to turn the world upside down. Faced with an unthinkable choice, Arvel makes a magical binding vow to do the impossible. Kill the Emperor, an ancient vampire created by the god Umbros. But first she must enter the Sundering, an arena where only the fastest, strongest, and deadliest survive long enough to be selected for the Emperor's elite guard. She quickly draws the ire of the Primus, the powerful figure changed with protecting the Emperor, but the vampire under the armor is the last person Arvel expects to encounter in the Emperor's court. With her brother's lives in the balance, Arvel has no choice but to ally with the man who once shattered her heart, and with the Emperor's sadistic son, Rourke, two vampires whose motives are impossible to pin down. Rourke holds the key to understanding the powers Arvel is developing, abilities that would put a price on her head if discovered by the Emperor. To survive the arena and complete her mission, Arvel must get to the bottom of the conspiracy that will change everything she thought she knew about herself and the two vampires who are deeply intertwined with her destiny. So that is that one. And I do have another one that I ordered. These have different sprayed edges. It says kill or be killed. And of course it has the map inside of it. I'm not sure which one I'm going to keep. That's those. And then I have Hollow by Carol Peckham and Susan Valenti. And of course this has pretty sprayed edges on it as well. And the end papers here. And then the end papers on the back. And this is book 1. On the back it says, don't listen to the whispers of the woods. Don't trust the man cloaked in shadow. Don't earn the wrath of the scattered spirits. Don't go out after dark. So this here, it says, the great hunt begins once every 50 years, and only the champions willing to face death to shatter the curse dare to enter. The champions and me. I'm no warrior, no swordsmith, and certainly no fae, but the forest is my only hope. To enter those trees is to walk willingly to my demise. But I need the boon the forest will grant the winner, and I'm willing to risk it all for a chance at claiming it. I just never expected to face him beneath those trees. The beast who strikes fear into the desperate people of all lands. The monster who commands the legion of hollows and makes our plight 1,000 times worse. The hollows are empty of all things, but none are so heartless as him. Prince Bane intends to be the death of me, but I have an oath to fulfill before I'll let him have me, and I'll do whatever it takes to achieve it. I am Ferris Creed, and I'm going to unite the lost spirits who once bound the wandering trees in place, return the scattered amulets to the core of its corruption, and use the winner's boon to change my fate. Come wretchedness or torment, through trickery and deception, I will get what I came here for, and no one will stand in my way, not even Prince Bane. Oh, that's pretty. There's that with the chapters. So that's that one. And this one here, I'm just going to show you all the books. I have book 1, as well as 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And it's the Dungeon Crawler Carl series by Matt Ditterman. I'm obviously not going to read the synopses of those. Only because that's the 2nd through the 7th in the series, and the 8th one comes out this year. The next one is The Assassin's Creed by Robin Hobb. It's the book 1 of the Farseer trilogy. I've been waiting for a long time to get this one. There's nothing special about it. It's just got that around the chapters. That's really pretty. Okay, on the back, it says, young Fitz is the bastard son of noble Prince Chivalry, raised in the shadow of the royal court by his father's gruff stableman. Fitz is treated as an outcast by all the royalty except the devious King Shrewd, who has himself secretly tutored in the arts of the assassin. For in Fitz's blood runs a magic skill, and the darker knowledge of a child raised with the stable hounds and rejected by his family. As barbarous raiders ravage the coast, Fitz is growing to manhood. Soon he will face his dangerous, soul-shattering mission, and though some regard him as a threat to the throne, he may just be the key to the survival of the kingdom. And then I picked up Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. Because the movie's supposed to be coming out and the movie trailer looked really good. On the back it says Heathcliff, an unkept orphan, is adopted into a wealthy family and befriends Kathy, the family's pretty and cruel daughter, little suspecting the tragic and twisted drama that will follow, which will alter their world forever. With a serpentine plot, emotional tortured characters, and a richly gothic atmosphere, Wuthering Heights is a masterwork of English literature. So I'm excited to read this so I can watch the movie. The next one I got is from Megan Quinn, and it says, Just for the Cameras. So it looks like it might be a football romance. And then it has pretty sprayed edges. Bottom. Top. And it says here, they're faking it for the cameras, but what if the sparks are real? Graydon St. John doesn't do drama or public appearances. The brooding defense end for the San Francisco Foghorns prefers silence, solitude, and avoiding headlines. But when a sports-wide PR scandal forces him into a media stunt at the city zoo, he's suddenly face-to-face with squawking birds, noisy fans, and the zookeeper who seems to hate his guts on sight. Maple Baker loves her flamingos, loud, pink, messy, but they're hers. And the last thing she needs is a grumpy football player stomping into her sanctuary with a bad attitude and a bigger ego. Unfortunately, they've been paired for the zoo's new public outreach program, and the cameras are already rolling. The banter is sharp, the tension is electric, and the more they pretend to play nice for the press, the more their fake flirtation starts to feel like something dangerous. But when family secrets, viral fame, and a PR romance gone off script threaten everything Maple's worked hard for, Graydon must decide if he's willing to fight for love or let us slip away to protect her. So that one sounds really interesting. And then I have Dawn of the North. It's book 3 in the Action series by Demi Winters. And I love what it says on the back. It says, I did not kneel for anyone but you. And then it's got really pretty end pages. Same end pages on the back. And of course, I'm not going to read the synopses of that one. That's book 3. This is a new release. It's by Mary Kubica. It's called It's Not Her. And it's got eerie end pages. And it says, a stunning discovery, a shocking investigation, a truth no one could have imagined. Courtney Gray's tranquil family vacation is shattered when she hears a blood-curdling scream from the lakeside cottage next door. Then she finds the lifeless bodies of her brother and sister-in-law. Her teenage niece Reese is nowhere to be found, while her nephew Wyatt lies asleep upstairs unharmed. As the police descend on the quiet resort town, disturbing secrets about Courtney's family start to emerge. When she learns that the town has secrets of its own, it makes her wonder if Reese is another victim in a brutal crime or if she's the killer. Courtney begins to unravel the terrible mystery, but everyone around her has something to hide. And the closer she gets to the truth, the harder it is to see. The next one is The Story We Wrote by M. Hartley. And it says, Aspen Westgrove has spent her life pleasing others, more specifically her family. Growing up in Faircloud, Texas, she has come to love the roots she dug and wants to make a life for herself in the place that she calls home. Aspen aspires to be a romance author, to create stories of love to share with other readers like herself. But there is one small problem. She has never been in love. After losing her job at the local coffee shop, Aspen is now left to wonder how she will navigate the sudden change and make her dreams of writing finally come true. Boone Cassidy is Fairchild's resident bachelor and ranch hand on his family's land who's been causing chaos in town since he was a boy. When his sister leaves town, he and his family are forced to find a solution to keep their farm stand running in her absence. Timing and fate align, pushing Boone to offer Aspen an opportunity she can't refuse. When the reformed bad boy and the shy bookworm come together to form an unexpected friendship, feelings are brought to the surface that neither of them know how to handle. And it looks like it's in two points of view, two POVs. The next one here, this sounded really interesting. I've never read anything by this author, but it says The Room in the Attic by T.M. Logan. On the back it says Adam and Jesse move into a new house, a rambling Victorian villa at the top of their price range, with their 3 young children. Before long, Adam discovers a door hidden behind a fitted wardrobe concealing a secret room. Inside, Adam discovers a collection of forgotten items, a wallet, an expensive watch, and an old mobile phone. Jess thinks they should simply throw them away, but Adam resists. He is fascinated by these items and how they came to be inside the hidden room. But like the house, Adam has secrets too, and soon he will find himself setting in motion a series of events that will place his family in terrible danger. So I heard about this book, and I read the synopses, and it sounded really good, so I went and got it. This is another one I've never read from, but it's called Better the Devil by Eric J. Brown. On the back, it says, with a charming, whip-smart hero and a palpable evil lurking beneath a thin veneer of the stubborn dream, Better the Devil is a propulsive, engaging page-turner you'll tear through in one sitting. So on the inside it says, when a runaway teen is arrested for shoplifting, he's desperate not to be sent back to the hyper-religious parents he knows will never accept him. While at the police station, he notices his resemblance to the aged-up photo of Nate Beaumont, a child who went missing 10 years ago. In a moment of desperation, he takes Nate's identity in hopes that it will help him make a quick getaway. Before he can run again, Nate's family arrives and welcomes him home to a life he never had. As Nate watches and waits for his chance to escape, he finds that the Beaumonts are nurturing and loving, very different from his own parents. But soon unsettling things start to happen. Vandalism, alarms go off in the middle of the night, and it becomes clear that someone knows Nate isn't who he says he is, and that the real Nate wasn't kidnapped but murdered. As he starts to unravel the mystery, he gets even closer to the devil he may know, and learns he might be their next victim. So that one sounded really interesting as well. And then I have the second book. I'm not sure the name of the series. Oh, and it has art on the inside. That's cool. But yeah, I'm not sure what the name of the series is. Vipers. The Viper series by Rena Kent. It's called Sweet Venom. And that's another one I'm not going to read the synopsis of because that is book 2. The next book is called The Wicked by Rebecca Johnp. It's my book of the month book. And on the inside it says, Elio, they call me the Wicked. I've earned that name with blood, silence, and the weight of every secret I carry. As head of the Marino family, nothing slips past me. Not lies, not weakness, not fear. But when she enters my world, everything tilts. Sahara. I'm dangerous. And I've had to be. I grew up with men who treated bullets like sugar cubes. I've risen from the streets to create the most notorious gang of thieves in the country. But after a job goes wrong, my crew and I are held captive by the wicked, and I'll do just about anything to take advantage of it. Even if it means working with the wicked and pulling off the biggest heist I've ever dreamed of. I'm dancing with the devil, and the cost might be my body, my very soul. But I'm willing to pay the price if it means I get him. So that sounds really interesting. The next one is another book by Jeanette McCurdy. It's called Half His Age. And this book is supposed to be very controversial. Because it has to do, I think, with a teenage girl having very dirty thoughts about her teacher. So this might be a very controversial book. But I thought I'd give it a try and see if I like it or not. The next book is Alice Feeney's My Husband's Wife. This is actually a book club pick. It says, one house, one husband, two wives, someone is lying. Eden Fox, an artist on the brink of her big break, sets off for a run before her first exhibition. When she returns to the home she recently moved into, Spyglass, an enchanting old house in Hope Falls, nothing is as it should be. Her key doesn't fit, a woman eerily similar to her answers the door, and her husband insists the stranger is his wife. 6 months earlier, a reclusive Londoner called Bertie, reeling from a life-changing diagnosis, inherits Spyglass. This unexpected gift from a long-lost grandmother brings her to the pretty seaside village of Hope Falls. But then Bertie stumbles upon a shadowy clinic that claims to be able to predict a person's date of death, including her own. Secrets start to unravel, and as the line between truth and lie blurs, Bertie feels compelled to right some old wrongs. So that is actually a book club pick for this month. Another one that sounded interesting is kind of like a non-fiction book. It says The Emerging Science of Interpersonal Synchrony. It says Why We Click by Kate Murphy. So this has to do with why we get along with some people and why we immediately click with some people and why we just as inexplicably turn and somebody will turn you off. Do people emit vibes? Is it possible to read a room? Are bad habits contagious? So this book explores all of that. I thought it would be kind of a fun read to just kind of give it a try. And then I have this beautiful book called Rings of Fate. It is a Book of the Month book. It's got beautiful end papers. And it says Curses and Crowns series. It says Erin Bellamore has no interest in being anyone's princess. She's too busy running the Raven's Beak Tavern, fending off unwanted marriage proposals, and dreaming of escape. But when a brush with death and a dangerously handsome stranger upend her life, Erin finds herself bound to a bargain that could change everything. Prince Dighton has carried the cursed Rings of Fate, ancient weapons for devastating power since childhood. The magic is killing him and the enemies are closing in. To make the journey to reverse his curse, he needs a bride to hide his secrets. Aaron wants freedom. Pretending to be his fiancée would give them both what they want. But as their perilous journey pits them against political schemes, monstrous clanderer, and a growing attraction neither can deny, the line between make-believe and destiny begins to blur, and the fate of two kingdoms may depend on whether a cynical barmaid and a cursed prince are willing to risk their hearts. It sounded really interesting. Um, and on the back it says, not your average fairy tale. So that's something that'll be interesting. This one I don't know a lot about. I've heard a lot of people like it. It's called The Red City by Marie Lu. It says, power always has a price. It says, alchemy is the hidden art of transformation, an exclusive power wielded by crime syndicates that market it to the world's elites in the form of sand, a drug that enhances those who take it into a more perfect version of themselves, more beautiful, more charismatic, simply more. Among the gleaming skyscrapers and rolling foothills of Angel City, alchemy is controlled by two rival syndicates. For years, Grand Central and Lumines have been balanced on a razor's edge between polite negotiation and outright violence. But when two childhood friends, step into the delicate equation, the city and the paths of their lives will be irrevocably changed. The daughter of a poor single mother, Sam would do anything to claw her way into the ranks of Grand Central in search of a better life. Plucked away from his family as a boy to become a Lumines apprentice, Aerie is one of the syndicate's brightest rising stars. Once they might have loved each other, but as the two alchemists face off across opposite sides of an ever-escalating conflict, ambition will become power, loyalty will become lies, and no transformation may be perfect enough for them both to survive the coming war. And this has pretty straight edges. If you look really close, it's actually like a skyline of a city. And this one I picked up at Dollar Tree. It's Mecca in Real Life by Emiko Jean. It says at 35, Mika's life resembles a late-stage Jenga tower. Her last relationship ended in flames. Her roommate/best friend might be a hoarder. She's a perpetual disappointment to her traditional Japanese parents, and she's just been fired from another dead-end job. Everything changes when she receives a phone call from Penny, the daughter she placed up for adoption 16 years ago. Deep down, Mika longs to be a woman, a mother, that Penny admires. Faced with her own inadequacies, Mika embellishes a teeny tiny fact about her life. But what starts out as a seemingly harmless white lie quickly snowballs into a full-fledged fake existence. One where Mika is mature, put together, successful, in love in her career. Though Mika knows the details are an illusion, everything she shares with Penny is real. Her hopes, dreams, flaws, and Japanese heritage. The harder-won heart belongs to Thomas Calvin, Penny's adoptive widower father. The relationship starts out rocky and contentious, but then slowly blossoms into a friendship and over time something more. But can Mika really have it all? Love, her daughter, the life she's always wanted, or will her deceptions catch up to her? Ultimately, Mika must face the truth about herself, her family, and her past, and answer the question, just who is Mika in real life? So that sounds really interesting as well. This one, it says Reggie and Delilah's You're Falling by Elsie Bryant. This one I got from Dollar Tree as well. It says Delilah has always kept her messy, gooey insides hidden behind a wall of shrugs and yeah, whatevers. She goes with the flow, which is how she ends up singing in her friend's punk band as a favor, even though she'd prefer to hide at the merch table. Reggie is a D&D dungeon master and self-declared blurred. He spends his free time leading quests and writing essays critiquing the game under a pseudonym, keeping it all under wraps from his disapproving family. Sorry. These two, who have practically nothing in common, meet for the first time on New Year's Eve, and then again on Valentine's Day, and then again on St. Patrick's Day. It's almost like the universe is pushing them together for a reason. Delilah wishes she were more like Reggie, open about what she likes and who she is, even if it's not cool. Except, it's all a front. Reggie's just role-playing someone confident, the kind of guy who could be with a girl like Delilah. As their holiday meetings continue, the two begin to fall for each other, but what happens once they realize they've fallen for a version of the other that doesn't really exist? And it looks like it could be young adult, but it sounded really interesting, so I thought I'd give it a try. And then I have Venom, Dark and Sweet by Judy Lynn. And this says here, the banished prince has returned to seize power, his rise to the dragon throne aided by the mass poisonings that have kept the people bound in fear and distrust. Ning, a young but powerful Shang-Chi, has escorted Prince Zen into exile, joining them in the prince's loyal bodyguard. Ru Yi and Ning's newly healed sister Shu. Together, the four young women travel throughout the kingdom in search of allies to keep out the invaders and take back Zen's rightful throne. But the Golden Serpent still haunts Ning's nightmares with visions of war and bloodshed. An evil far more ancient than the petty conflicts of men has awoken, and all the magic in the land may not be enough to stop it from consuming the world. And then the last one is called The Pledge by Kathleen Kent. I also got this one at Dollar Tree. And it says, things are looking up for Detective Betty Redsick. She is settled into a happy marriage and has been promoted to sergeant in the Dallas Police Department. But when a hostage standoff puts her on the phone with legendary cartel leader The Knife, things take a turn. The Knife has heard that a rival is making a play for the streets of Dallas, none other than Evangeline Roy, the matriarch of a ruthless cult. Evangeline also happens to have a personal vendetta against Betty, so who better to draw Evangeline out of hiding? Betty's got 2 weeks to catch her, or else. With Betty's young charge, Mary Grace, already missing, having left her 7-month-old baby behind in Betty's care, and the drug dealers of Dallas donning strange red wigs and delivering cryptic messages, Betty is in a race for answers. As the clock ticks down, it will take everything she's got to finally put an end to Evangeline's reign of terror, and to keep her beloved Dallas and her own family safe at last. So that one sounded really good as well. Let's go ahead and count the books. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. There are 28 books that I hauled. But that's the end of this video. If you like the video, go ahead and like. and subscribe if you want to. And I look forward to seeing you in another video very soon. Bye!